So let us begin. Take in a deep breath and exhale. Check your shoulders. Are they relaxed? Whatever you're doing at this moment, can you do it with your shoulders down and relaxed? Now smile, a big, huge smile. And throughout this meditation, hold these two poses, relaxed shoulders and a huge smile. Take in a deep breath and exhale. We will identify areas where you are lost or have lost yourself. Old beliefs of dependence, controlling experiences, shame and humiliations, fears, stories, people, lifestyles, attitudes, and demands. We will focus on beliefs that your mind is ready to embrace or release, where it is ready for change, progress, transformation, and purification. Listen to and intend to integrate these words. Feel them deep within your body, your mind, and your soul, and allow them to transform and purify your heart. Because you are absolutely worthy of every virtue, and you are worthy of every life-giving belief. As you hear these statements and embrace them into your heart, they will transform you gently, profoundly, and will align you with living your best life. There is a difference between perfection and purification. Expectations of how things ought to be and how things really are. Often our expectations are out of alignment with reality and truth. We may have developed these expectations through our own perceptions, or we may have been taught them. Either way, it is causing disruptions and agitations in various parts of your life. Due to these disruptions and disharmony, there have been many times in your life where you have denied your eternal and true self, where you have felt disconnected from living this life, and where you have continually fear engaging with the moment, not knowing that you're doing it correctly. These are the times where you may act appropriately, the way you are expected to act by others, following the rules unconsciously, but not authentically. You don't know who you are, and so you let others around you define your existence. This is where your greatest need is, to put yourself into this life and experience your real and beautiful self now. When out of balance, life feels mechanical. In balance, you feel engaged and whole. So let us open up the energy in Field 7 to receive and accept the experience of this life and shift the energy of imperfection and fabricated identity so that you can begin to live your life, see your divine worth, and let go of anything that holds you in a state of fake belief. So take a breath in and release. Close your eyes and imagine looking into a mirror. In this moment, speak this maxim to yourself with the care and compassion you would give to the most apprehensive of being. Take kindness and benevolence as basis. Take frankness and friendliness to heart. Speak with reason. Treat with courtesy. Act with emotion, and accomplish results. Continue to see yourself in the mirror and look deeply into your eyes. May you be filled with light. May you be healed with light. May you be filled with light. May you be healed with light. May you be filled with light. May you be healed with light. We are the light. The light expands and creates. The light returns. The light manifests. And the light returns. The light integrates and harmonizes all experience. I stand in the light. I receive the light. I am filled with light. I am one with light. Breathe in the light and release all that isn't light. Again, breathe in the light and release all that isn't light. And one more time, breathe in the light and release all that isn't light. Now let us release the fear of being imperfect. We will breathe after each statement, consciously creating new pathways of response. So repeat after me. I give myself permission to bring up and address the unconscious beliefs that have kept me stuck in patterns of response that bring harm to myself and to others. And breathe. I give myself permission to forgive the people and institutions that have influenced my beliefs when they have encouraged false beliefs, even when they believed it was good. And breathe. I forgive myself for my false interpretation of the rules presented to me. And breathe. I ask others to forgive me when I have hurt or caused harm because of my false interpretation of reality. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing I have no meaningful contribution to this life. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I am not wanted or seen in this life. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I am just not good enough. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I am invisible and that I don't exist. And breathe. I forgive myself for not knowing right now who I am. And breathe. I forgive myself for denying my true, authentic self. And breathe. I forgive myself for denying my spiritual reality. And breathe. I forgive myself for denying my true and authentic feelings. and breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I cannot be safe until everything is perfect, and breathe. I forgive myself for believing imperfection is not allowed. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing everything in my life must be perfect. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that my definition of perfect is the only definition when others may have different expectations. And breathe. I forgive myself for using imperfection as an excuse to withhold love from myself and others. And breathe. I forgive myself for being afraid of not being perfect. And breathe. I forgive myself for being afraid of things not being perfect. And breathe. I forgive myself for being afraid of relationships not being perfect. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing there is no mental or spiritual reality. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing spirit does not exist. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing there is no true, unseen reality. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing I can't possibly feel what I can't see. And breathe. I forgive myself for denying my mental connection to reality. And breathe. I forgive myself for denying my real eternal self. And breathe. I forgive myself for ignoring my spiritual experience because it can't be seen. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that appropriate behavior will maintain my perfection. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that perfect means appropriate behavior. And breathe. I forgive myself for failing to acknowledge my divinely created spirit and the true expression of my spirit. And breathe. I forgive myself for being vacant in my own body and in my own life. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that being vacant in my own body and in my own life will keep me from making mistakes and not being perfect. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I can't feel and experience my true self, that I have to hide it or put on an appropriate act. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing the world as I know it now is empty and false. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing I have no substance that is worthwhile. And breathe. I forgive myself for failing to acknowledge my true, authentic experience of self. And breathe. I forgive myself for failing to acknowledge my true, authentic experience of my own individuality. And breathe. I forgive myself for failing to feel and see the spirit within all creation. Breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I am not allowed to feel the perfection of my individually designed spirit. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing my individuality does not exist. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that I have to please others in order to exist for them. And breathe. I forgive myself for ignoring myself in order to appear holy. And breathe. I forgive myself for throwing myself away in order to appear generous and good. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing I am not allowed to feel myself while participating in life. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing that it is selfish to feel and acknowledge my true essence in this life. Breathe. I forgive myself for maintaining my emptiness and lack of fulfillment through self-denial and vain sacrifices. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing I am not allowed to experience unity and individuality within myself. And breathe. I forgive myself for rejecting my spiritual experience. And breathe. I forgive myself for believing time is just a constant, rigid march towards that which will never change. And breathe. I forgive myself for failing to embrace the present moment as a complete being, both spiritual and physical. And breathe. I give myself permission to release the fear of not measuring up and making mistakes. And breathe. I give myself permission to release the fear of pleasing others, even those I don't like. And breathe. I give myself permission to believe that I am more than just my physical body. And breathe. I give myself permission to be authentic to my eternal self. And breathe. I give myself permission to acknowledge and love and nurture my spiritual self. And breathe. I give myself permission to acknowledge that my spiritual self validates my authenticity. Breathe. I give myself permission to believe that I am allowed to feel my wholeness of spirit within my body. And breathe. I give myself permission to believe and feel the unity of my body and spirit. And breathe. I love and accept my core essence exactly how it is and always has been. And breathe. I love and accept my fulfilling, perfect spirit. And breathe. I love and accept my perfection of spirit rising above the imperfections of my life. And breathe. I love and accept my imperfection and my chance to grow and be purified in this life. And breathe. I feel the most secure and safe when I embrace my true and authentic self, because I am. It is exactly how it is, and there is no second guessing what is appropriate. Therefore, I can't lie. I can't fake it. I am just me. And this is so much easier. It is so much easier to feel my feelings and accept my spiritual reality. I know and feel that my appropriate behavior is authentic to who I am. I am safe with love and relationships when I act authentically. And breathe. I know and feel myself within my own experience of life. I feel my joyful expression of myself in my participation of life. And I know the world is real because of that spiritual essence put within me that connects me to others and to the Creator of all. And breathe. I feel and love my core essence, my spirit, the unseen parts of me that I have yet to discover. I feel love and wholeness through my knowledge and experience of my core essence in this life. And my core essence exists and is bigger and more magnificent than I have ever imagined. And breathe. I am now free to know and express my real feelings. I am free to know that I am real. What I feel is real, and it is valid. And breathe. I am free to know who I really am and accept it with passion on all levels. And breathe. I am free to express who I am through this life, the life I live all around me. And breathe. I am free to feel whole and happy, expressing my true self through this life. And breathe. I am free to experience a fulfilling life because I feel connected to the unseen in my life and to others, and I honor it. And breathe. I am free to participate in life and allow others to participate as well without conditions or expectations that are not true and authentic to them. And breathe. I feel myself within the presence of the now, gently engaging and flowing with the river of life. I love the time I experience in the present. Through my experience and authentic expression of myself, where I adapt and flow at any given time. And breathe. I easily engage with life. I show up for myself and for others. I pay attention to the feelings and experiences of myself and others. And I tell the truth about myself and see the truth in others. I let go of what no longer is in the best interest for me or for others. And breathe. When I live authentically, my life becomes better than I could ever imagine. And breathe. So as I move into harmony with my true nature, help me to let go of anything that isn't honest and real. Help me to see past the illusions that I have created. Help me to stop needing to pretend in order to be accepted and loved by others. Help me to be honest about who I am and how I want to engage with this life. Help me to step in and engage with life from a place of true, real authenticity. Help me to embrace what truly makes my heart sing. And help me to become the best version of myself fully engaged and honestly living my best life. And take a deep breath and release. I leave this blessing with you. Each day, may you participate in miracles. Each day, may you be open to receiving divine light. Each day, may you be filled to capacity with divine light. Each day, may you be healed with divine light. Each day, may you make a positive contribution to your world. When you are ready, you may come back, keeping the connection to light shining in you continually.